Welcome back to our channel, World of Coins. As you knew that old is gold, but these rare $quarter coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them. Who knows, a single coin could make you a millionaire overnight. You're lucky if you have one of these, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Top 1. Today, we're diving into a coin that might just be sitting in your collection or even in your spare change right now, the 1984 United States quarter dollar. This unassuming coin could be worth a whole lot more than you think. Stick around as we explore what makes this particular quarter so special and why it has earned a spot in the world of high-value coins. The 1984 quarter may look like any other, but don't be fooled, there's something hidden within this coin that makes it exceptionally valuable. Let's start with the history and background of this iconic piece of currency. The quarter dollar, a staple in American pocket change, was minted in 1984 as part of the regular series of quarters circulating that year. At first glance, you might think this is just another coin produced in the midst of the 80s, but the truth is, there's a rare version of the 1984 quarter that has piqued the interest of coin collectors around the world. One key reason this coin is so valuable is the rarity of certain versions that were struck with errors during the minting process. Now, if you're wondering, what errors are we talking about? Well, in the case of the 1984 quarter, there are a few noteworthy mistakes that make it so special. The most common error is a double die, which happens when the die used to strike the coin shifts slightly, creating a double image on the design. This happens during the minting process and leads to coins that have extra details that aren't supposed to be there. These coins are known as double die quarters, and they are a must-have for collectors, but that's not all. Other variants of the 1984 quarter are known for having minting issues like off-center strikes, die cracks, and even some missing or poorly struck designs. These imperfections are what make these coins so highly sought after by collectors. It's not just about finding a rare coin, it's about finding one that stands out, one that has that special something that makes it unique. For the seasoned collector, finding a quarter with these kinds of errors is like striking gold. You see, these errors aren't common at all. Most coins that are minted, especially in such high quantities as the 1984 quarter, are struck properly and go into circulation without any noticeable issues. But when one of these rare error coins is found, it catches the attention of collectors who understand the real value of these rare gems. Now, let's talk about how much a 1984 quarter with these errors can really be worth. You might be wondering, what could a coin like this go for? Well, depending on the condition, the rarity of the error, and how well it's been preserved, these quarters can fetch anywhere from a few $100s to several thousand. But hold on, because if you're lucky enough to have one of these error coins in pristine, uncirculated condition, you could be sitting on a treasure worth an eye-popping $61,000. That's right, $61,000 for a single quarter. Now that's a number that'll make any collector sit up and take notice. So, if you've got an old jar of change or a collection of coins you've been holding onto for years, it might be time to take a second look at your 1984 quarters. You never know, you could have a coin that's worth far more than its face value. To wrap things up, the 1984 United States quarter dollar isn't just any ordinary coin, it's a potential goldmine for those in the know. With its rare minting errors, including double dies, off-center strikes, and other unique features, this coin has become a favorite among collectors who are always on the lookout for the next big find. So, if you've got one of these coins in good condition or with a rare error, you could be sitting on a fortune. Top 2, we're talking about a coin that might seem like just another regular quarter, but trust me, it's anything but ordinary. I'm talking about the 1982 United States quarter dollar. It's a coin that's been quietly making waves in the collectors community, and today, I'm going to tell you exactly why this seemingly mundane coin could be worth a small fortune. At first glance, the 1982 quarter might seem like just another piece of everyday currency. After all, it was produced during a time when the United States was churning out millions of quarters each year. But here's the catch, this coin, due to certain unique features, has become a sought-after treasure for collectors. If you've got one lying around, or if you're lucky enough to stumble across one, it could just turn into your golden ticket. Now, you might be wondering, what makes the 1982 quarter so special? Well, it all comes down to some rare and fascinating minting errors that occurred during the production of this coin. You see, in the world of coin collecting, errors are a huge deal. A small mistake made during the minting process can turn an ordinary coin into a valuable collector's item. And the 1982 quarter has a few of these rare mistakes that make it particularly interesting. One of the most valuable and rare varieties of the 1982 quarter is the double die error. A double die occurs when the coin's design is struck multiple times, resulting in a slight duplication of the image on the coin. This means the inscriptions or features, like the date or the lettering, appear twice or are doubled. Imagine a coin that was stamped incorrectly, giving it a second life in the collector's world. The 1982 quarter, if it has this error, is an instant eye-catcher and highly coveted, but that's not all. The 1982 quarter is also known for a number of other minting issues, including off-center strikes and die cracks. These imperfections happen when the coin doesn't align properly during the minting process or when there are flaws in the dies used to stamp the coin. For collectors, these are not just flaws, they're what make the coin even more desirable. These imperfections tell a story, making each coin a unique piece of history. Now, I know what you're thinking. How much could a 1982 quarter with these rare errors be worth? Well, the answer may surprise you. A typical 1982 quarter might be worth only a few quarters, but if it has one of these rare errors, especially in excellent condition, it can fetch an astonishing price. Coins with these mistakes, particularly those that have been carefully preserved, can soar in value, and here's the kicker. If you're fortunate enough to own a 1982 quarter with the right kind of error, you could be looking at a value of up to $66,000. Yes, that's right, $66,000 for a single quarter. This is a rare find, but for the right collector, it's a jackpot. Just imagine holding onto something that was originally worth 25 cents and discovering it's now worth a fortune. It's the kind of story every coin collector dreams of. For all you avid collectors out there, this should be a reminder of just how incredible the world of coins can be. There are so many rare and valuable coins hidden in plain sight, and it's all about knowing what to look for. The 1982 quarter is just one example of how a small error can create a huge opportunity. Whether you're new to the world of collecting or a seasoned pro, it's always worth taking a second look at the coins you come across. You never know when you might find the next big treasure. So, there you have it. What seemed like just another 1982 quarter could be hiding a fortune within its copper-nickel layers. If you have one of these error coins in your collection, or if you come across one, make sure to check it carefully. You could be holding onto something worth thousands of dollars. Top 3, we're diving into a fascinating coin from the United States that you may have overlooked in your collection, the 1996 quarter dollar. You might think it's just another coin, but let me tell you, there's more to this piece of currency than meets the eye. This coin has captured the attention of collectors, and for a good reason. You could be holding something that's worth far more than its face value. Stick around as we explore why the 1996 quarter is such a rare find, and you'll soon see just how valuable this coin can be. Now, let's start with the basics. The 1996 quarter was part of the ongoing series of U.S. quarters minted for general circulation. But here's where things get interesting. At first glance, the design doesn't seem all that different from the typical Washington quarters produced in the years surrounding it. On the obverse, you've got the timeless image of George Washington, and on the reverse, the familiar eagle design. So, why is this coin worth so much? The answer lies in the rarity of certain versions and some unique errors that occurred during the minting process. You see, while most of the 1996 quarters produced were struck correctly and circulated in vast quantities, there are some very rare exceptions. Over the years, a few of these quarters were produced with minting mistakes that make them highly valuable to collectors. And it's those minting errors that make this coin so exciting for anyone passionate about numismatics. One of the most notable errors that can increase the value of the 1996 quarter is a phenomenon known as the double die error. This happens when the coin's die shifts slightly during the minting process, resulting in a double image on the coin. This can occur in the design elements, whether it's the date, the lettering, or other features, giving it a distinctive, double look. A 1996 quarter with a double die error is one of the key finds for collectors, and these coins can skyrocket in value, especially if they're in excellent condition, but that's not the only error to look out for. Some 1996 quarters were struck with an off-center design. This occurs when the coin's blank planchet doesn't align properly during the strike, resulting in a coin with an uneven, misaligned design. These types of errors are incredibly rare, and when they are found, they're worth a premium in the market. Another minting error to be aware of is the die crack or die break. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin becomes cracked or damaged during production. As a result, the crack is often visible on the coin's surface. These die cracks are interesting to collectors because they make each coin unique, and as a result, coins with these imperfections can demand a higher price. It's important to note that while many of these error coins were struck, only a small number of them survived in excellent, uncirculated condition. This rarity, combined with the error itself, is what drives up the value of the coin. Collectors always search for coins that are well preserved, as these coins have the potential to fetch far higher prices in the market. So, how much could a 1996 quarter with these rare errors be worth? Well, depending on the type and severity of the error, along with the coin's condition, the value can vary significantly. Some of these error coins can go for hundreds, even thousands of dollars. But hold on, the best part is yet to come. If you're lucky enough to have an error coin from 1996 in pristine condition, especially one with a significant minting mistake like a double die or off-center strike, it could be worth an astounding $54,000. Yes, that's $54,000 for a single quarter. Imagine holding a coin that's been in circulation for nearly 30 years, and yet, it has appreciated in value to this extent. It's a reminder that there are valuable treasures hiding in plain sight. Whether it's a lucky find in your pocket change, or something you've had stashed away for years, the 1996 quarter with the right error could be your ticket to a small fortune. As a collector, the thrill of discovering a rare coin can't be overstated. And for those of you who are just starting out, this is a great example of how paying attention to details and keeping an eye out for minting errors can lead to extraordinary finds. If you have a collection of 1996 quarters, or any quarters from around that time, be sure to check them closely. You never know when you'll come across one of these rare, high-value coins. So, the next time you're sifting through your change or browsing through your collection, don't overlook the 1996 quarter. It might just be worth far more than you think. And who knows, you could be holding onto a coin worth thousands, or even tens of thousands, of dollars. Top 4, we're going to talk about a coin that might just be hiding in your collection or sitting in your change jar right now, the 1987 United States quarter dollar. It might seem like just another ordinary coin, but there's more to it than you might expect. You could be holding onto a treasure worth thousands of dollars. So, make sure to watch this video until the end to learn why this seemingly regular quarter could be worth a small fortune. Now, let's take a closer look at the 1987 quarter. It was minted as part of the regular series of quarters for that year, and like most quarters, it features the iconic image of George Washington on the obverse side, and an eagle on the reverse. But while most of these coins circulated widely, there's a rare and valuable version of the 1987 quarter that has captured the attention of collectors around the world. So, what makes this particular quarter so special? Well, the answer lies in some unique minting errors and variations that occurred during its production. You see, in the world of coin collecting, it's the imperfections that can turn an ordinary coin into something extraordinary. And when it comes to the 1987 quarter, there are a few key errors that can make these coins highly valuable. One of the most sought-after varieties of this coin is the double die error. If you're new to the world of coins, a double die error happens when the coin's design is struck multiple times, causing the image to appear doubled. This could happen with the date, the lettering, or other elements on the coin, creating a noticeable and unique effect. Double die coins are a big deal in the world of numismatics because they're so rare and stand out from the rest, but that's not the only minting issue that makes the 1987 quarter special. Some quarters from this year were struck off-center. When a coin is struck off-center, it means that the blank planchet used to make the coin was not properly aligned during the minting process. This results in a coin with a design that's shifted or misaligned, making it a rare and unique specimen. These off-center coins are highly prized by collectors because of their unusual appearance, and they can be worth significantly more than a regular, well-aligned quarter. Additionally, there are also cases where the 1987 quarter features die cracks. Die cracks happen when the die used to stamp the coin becomes cracked or damaged, leaving a visible mark or line on the coin. While these cracks may seem like imperfections, they're actually a sign of a coin that was struck with a worn or damaged die. For collectors, these die cracks add a layer of uniqueness to the coin, and they can make the quarter even more valuable. Now, you might be wondering, how much is a 1987 quarter with these errors actually worth? Well, the value can vary depending on the rarity of the error, the condition of the coin, and the collector's market demand. A regular 1987 quarter is worth just 25 cents, but when you factor in a rare error, such as a doubled die, off-center strike, or die crack, the price skyrockets. A quarter that was once just pocket change could now be worth thousands of dollars if it has the right mistake, and here's where things get really exciting. If you're lucky enough to own one of these error coins in excellent condition, it could be worth an impressive $60,000. Yes, that's right, $60,000 for a single 1987 quarter. It's hard to believe that something that started as a piece of everyday currency could climb in value to such staggering amounts. But for those who understand the rarity and uniqueness of these error coins, the value is undeniable. So, if you're sitting on a collection of 1987 quarters, or if you come across one in your spare change, make sure to take a closer look. Check for any signs of errors, whether it's a doubled die, an off-center strike, or a die crack. You never know, you might be holding onto a coin that's worth far more than its face value. For collectors, this is a reminder of just how valuable coins can be when they have a rare minting error or unique feature. It's not always about the year or the design, it's about those hidden gems that make a coin truly special. So, next time you're sifting through your change, don't overlook that 1987 quarter. It could be your ticket to a small fortune. Top 5. This video is one that's sure to get your heart racing. We're diving into the fascinating world of the 1990 United States quarter dollar, a coin that may seem like just another piece of pocket change, but in reality, could be worth a small fortune. If you've ever wondered how certain coins can go from a simple 25-cent piece to being worth thousands of dollars, you're in for a treat. Stick with us, and by the end of the video, you'll understand why this 1990 quarter could be your ticket to a windfall. The 1990 quarter is part of the ongoing series of U.S. quarters that have been minted since the 1930s. At first glance, it looks like just another standard Washington quarter, featuring the familiar portrait of George Washington on the front and an eagle on the reverse. But don't be fooled, this seemingly average coin holds secrets that could make it incredibly valuable. Now, you might be wondering, what makes the 1990 quarter stand out from all the others? Well, this is where things get exciting. Coin collectors know that the key to a coin's value often lies in rare minting errors or unique variations that happen during the production process. The 1990 quarter is no exception, and several factors can make this coin worth far more than its face value. One of the most interesting and valuable errors that can be found on the 1990 quarter is the double die error. For those of you who are unfamiliar, a double die occurs when the coin's design is struck more than once, causing a doubling effect on certain parts of the design. This can make certain letters, numbers, or images appear slightly shifted or doubled. In the case of the 1990 quarter, the double die error may show up on the date or the word Liberty. For collectors, a double die coin is like finding a hidden treasure. These errors are rare, and when they're found in good condition, they can be worth a significant amount of money, but that's not all. There are other unique characteristics of the 1990 quarter that make it desirable to collectors. For example, some of these quarters were struck with an off-center error. This happens when the blank planchet, the metal disc that will become the coin, is not perfectly aligned with the die during the minting process. This results in a coin that has an incomplete design, with part of the coin's features missing or misaligned. Off-center strikes like this are highly sought after, as they make the coin a unique and one-of-a-kind specimen. An off-center 1990 quarter could be a real treasure, and it can fetch a pretty penny at auctions or in private sales. Another type of error that can add to the value of the 1990 quarter is a die crack. Die cracks occur when the minting die, which is used to press the design into the coin, becomes cracked or damaged. This can leave visible cracks or lines on the surface of the coin. While these cracks may seem like imperfections, they're actually quite desirable to collectors because they indicate that the coin was struck with a die that was worn or defective, which makes the coin even more unique. The more pronounced the die crack, the more valuable the coin can be. Now, you might be asking, how much could a 1990 quarter with these errors really be worth? Well, here's the exciting part. While a typical 1990 quarter might only be worth 25 cents, if you happen to have one with a significant error in excellent condition, it could be worth far more. A 1990 quarter with a double die, an off-center strike, or a die crack could sell for thousands of dollars depending on the severity and rarity of the error, and for those of you who are really lucky, you could be holding a coin that's worth as much as $63,000. Yes, that's right, $63,000 for a single 1990 quarter. It's a truly staggering amount of money for a coin that, at first glance, looks like it's worth just a few cents. This just goes to show how much the right error or feature can increase a coin's value. So, if you have any 1990 quarters in your collection or find one in your change, make sure to take a closer look. Check for any signs of minting errors like the double die, off-center strikes, or die cracks. You never know, you might just have a rare gem on your hands, waiting to be discovered. And if you happen to stumble across a well-preserved error coin, you could be in for a massive windfall. Remember, in the world of coin collecting, it's all about finding those unique, rare pieces that stand out. The 1990 quarter is a perfect example of how something as simple as a small minting mistake can turn an ordinary coin into something worth a lot of money. So, the next time you're sorting through your change or browsing your collection, take a moment to check out those 1990 quarters. You could be sitting on a goldmine without even knowing it. Top 6, and last rare coin. We're about to talk about a coin that may be sitting quietly in your collection, or perhaps in your change right now, and it could be worth a whole lot more than its face value. We're talking about the 1997 United States quarter dollar, a coin that has flown under the radar for many collectors but has the potential to be incredibly valuable. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll understand just why this quarter could be worth a small fortune. Now, when you look at the 1997 quarter, it may seem like just another typical Washington quarter with George Washington's portrait on the front and the eagle on the reverse. It's easy to overlook, right? After all, millions of these coins were minted, and it seems like just another coin in the sea of quarters you might have in your collection. But here's where the story gets interesting. It's not just about the design or the year, it's about the rare errors and variations that can be found on this coin that set it apart from all the others. Like many coins, the 1997 quarter was minted in large quantities for circulation, which means that, in general, they are not rare. However, it's the imperfections and minting errors that make certain examples of this coin stand out, and those are the ones collectors are willing to pay big money for. In the world of numismatics, it's the rare, one-of-a-kind finds that really drive up the value of a coin, and the 1997 quarter is a perfect example of this. So, what makes the 1997 quarter special? Well, one of the most exciting errors to watch for is the double die error. For those of you who are new to coin collecting, a double die occurs when the design on the coin is struck twice, slightly misaligned. This results in a doubled image on the coin, making certain elements of the design appear blurry or doubled. In the case of the 1997 quarter, the double die error often appears in the date, the lettering, or even the image of Washington himself. These errors are rare and highly sought after by collectors because they make the coin unique and stand out from all the others. Another significant error to look for is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin's blank planchet, the round metal disc that gets stamped to create the coin, is not properly aligned during the minting process. As a result, part of the coin's design may be missing or misaligned. An off-center 1997 quarter can be a real gem for collectors, especially if it's only slightly misaligned. The more extreme the misalignment, the more valuable the coin can be. Off-center strikes are rare, and they make each coin a one-of-a-kind specimen. There's also something called a die crack or die break, which occurs when the die used to strike the coin becomes damaged. When a die crack happens, the design on the coin might have a visible crack or line running through it. While die cracks might seem like imperfections to the casual observer, collectors actually love them. These cracks often make a coin unique, and they're a telltale sign that the coin was struck with a damaged or worn-out die. The more noticeable the crack, the more valuable the coin could be. Now, you might be wondering, how much could a 1997 quarter with these rare errors actually be worth? The good news is that these coins aren't just worth a few extra dollars, they could be worth much more, depending on the condition and rarity of the error. In fact, if you have a 1997 quarter in excellent condition, especially one that features a rare minting mistake, it could fetch a pretty penny at auction or through private sales. And here's the kicker, some of these rare 1997 quarters have been known to sell for as much as $56,000. Yes, you heard that right, $56,000 for a single quarter. It's hard to believe, isn't it? A coin that originally only had a face value of 25 cents could now be worth tens of thousands of dollars if it has the right error. If you happen to have one of these error coins in your collection, or if you come across one in your change, take a moment to inspect it carefully. Look for signs of double die errors, off-center strikes, or die cracks. You never know, what may seem like just another quarter could be hiding a rare and valuable mistake. And remember, the condition of the coin matters too. A well-preserved, error-filled coin can be worth significantly more than one that's been heavily circulated. This is just another reminder of the incredible world of coin collecting. It's not always about the year or the design, it's about finding those special, rare coins that make you stand out in the collecting community. And the 1997 quarter is a perfect example of how a small minting mistake can turn an ordinary coin into something extraordinary. So, the next time you're going through your spare change or digging through your coin collection, be sure to keep an eye out for the 1997 quarter. It could be the key to unlocking a treasure trove of value. And if you've got a collection of quarters from around that time, don't forget to check for those rare minting errors. They could be worth far more than you ever imagined. If you enjoyed this video and want to keep learning about rare and valuable coins, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell so you never miss out on future discoveries. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy collecting. You never know, your next coin could be worth far more than you think.